What's going on out there, good people? It is your boy Look Around with LMD Trading, where I am living my dream trading. Hope everybody out there is doing well, and you know what time it is. We are back with another daily trade review, wrapping up the week green, wrapping up the first week of September green. Fairly small, lackluster day in the market. We were done maybe about an hour into the market, but we did take two late morning trades. And one of them was one of those I said I did not want to take anymore, and didn't even realize that I had gotten in under share sized until I just went back and kind of looked at the video. So let's go ahead. Let's get TRADERVUE pulled up. We'll look at the numbers. And again, reviewing trades for Friday, September 2nd. Took 8 trades today. Closed P&L 102.87. And this is what we were trading today. Baba was a fairly decent trade, I do believe. Let's look at this one and see. Trade going to the short side. And we see that this made a nice move down. Started pulling back, and we got out of it. And look, it was a good exit. This was a good exit. Ended up making, what was that, like $7 that it said, but this was to the good $69. Went against us $31 off just getting into it, but good exit right there, because we would have took a full stop on this one. So these are those ones where you gotta weigh the good with the bad. Sometimes I might say that I don't need to mess with the stop, and I end up getting stopped out. Or I end up stopping out, and then it keeps going in my favor. This one, excellent exit right there. And look at what it formed, a perfect W. That was a perfect W. Could have got back in this thing right here on the 5. Here would have been the best entry right there. And this thing just ripped. But that was Baba. Traded AZN. This was a snafu. Got in this one wanting to go long, and I hit it on the short side of the ladder. This one, I just flattened the trade. Yesterday, I did the same thing on a Walmart trade. Stayed in it and made a few bucks. This one, no. I know this is not a good look. Flattened it and got out of it for the small loss. That's what it looked like on the 2-minute chart. Wasn't a good look. And then ended up getting back in it, but didn't quite let the trade work. You see, we only made $26 on it. Same look. Got in right there. Stop right there. This is money. This is money, but wait till you see what the 2-minute looks like. You'll see why I got out of it. Look at that. This thing had made this move. Sellers came in, pushed it back down, scared me out. I think it was a good exit. I think it was a good scare, and then it just ripped. This one, max unrealized, was almost 1R. Went against us just a little bit. And again, this one, we were getting back in because we had got in on the wrong side of the ladder. This was my initial worry right there. I figured this would fill the gap, and it filled the gap. And then I'm like, okay, it's going to reject at the gap, so I'm getting out. And then this thing just took off. Almost got back in, but didn't get back over looking at it in time at this sandwich right there. That's a sandwich, and that's a perfect sandwich. You got bulls, you got bears, and then the bulls sandwich the bears in between it. This is going to have a very wide stop, but it's a very potent pattern. Don't really see this pattern too often, especially with those even highs and lows. But this one, we would have had to sit in this almost to the close. Oh, I'm sorry. Nope, this is only going to 11. So would have had to sit in this till about 11 o'clock, and this probably would have hit target. But that was AZN. CVE, another one that we kind of got shook out of. 5 minute looks extended. That was the perfect entry. I was watching this when this was down here, and we'll see that in the video today. Getting in though off of this little break right here. We've kind of missed all of this stuff here. Made that move, came back, and then it still ripped. And what did we have on this one? We were up 34 bucks on this one. I do believe this was a full share size. Yep, 750 shares. So decent position right there. Walmart wasn't a very good trade. And this is another one. Getting out when I'm supposed to. Look at that. Got out right there, and this thing failed horribly. This thing failed horribly. And you'll see on the chart, it was a little area right there. And good exit, good exit. I want to say that that was previous high of day. You can't see it on the chart, but I want to say that that was previous high of day. It had made a little move, went against us a little. Good stop out, good stop out. And we stopped out break even. So today was some pretty good stop outs. NIO, another decent trade. This one was a decent one. Got out at the top of the move again. I was looking at this to possibly get all the way back up here. Came up to this area right here and it failed. I ended up getting out. Possibly could have waited to see if it was going to break it on the second time around, but you see it failed it again and then it sold off. So another good exit. And look, we were up 59 bucks. Made 50 on the trade, so that was bringing the stop to a very tight area to get out of that one. So that was a nice trade. And then these last two, or at least I know this one. I didn't look at the numbers on this one, on the other one. This had a 20-cent stop. 20-cent stop. Based on the video, I only bought 50 shares. I was supposed to have bought 375 shares. But let's look at something real quick. 50 shares on a 20-cent stop is a $10 risk. This had went a little over 1R. So if you take, let's take 375 shares. Get my calendar pulled up here, or calculator. 375 times 0.25. Or oops, let's do correct numbers because we see that it says it was up 0.24. So 375 times 0.24. We were up $90 on this trade. We were up $90 had we went full size. And that's why I said I don't necessarily not want to take those trades. And this one here wasn't even one of those type trades that I normally take a $10 risk on. This one I thought was going to make a good move. Look at that. We have, instead of the W, we have the M. We got the M. And I'm getting in right as it's breaking. Had to get in off of that candle though, and you'll see it in the video. Possibly could have got in on the break of that, but I wanted to get in off the break of that candle, and this thing pushed back down. I didn't have this marked on the chart, but look where it came to, right there. So as this was pulling back up, I'm like, okay, let's get out of the trade. Another good exit. This would have stopped us out full. So this was another good exit. And that's going to be it. We'll look at this one. I don't even remember this trade, but let's check it out. Another good exit, though. A little early entry, and it's rejecting that area, and we getting out as it's rejecting it. So that was a decent exit right there. Again, I don't know what the stop size was on this one though, so I'm not sure if I was in full or not. But let's go ahead. Let's get the video pulled up. Just going through those, I feel a little better today. None of them really had the potential to run the target, and that's what the market was doing today. It's fairly tight market. Made some good money. In my Webull account, I took 2 put plays. And this trade that we're looking at, this is pre-market. And this is in my cash IRA account. Took this in the cash account, and I just wanted to look at it. So ended up starting the video while I was in it. I got in. Let me go ahead and turn on my highlighter here. There we go. Got in it off of that candle right there. And we see we're up, risking $10 on this trade. We were risking $10. At a 10-cent stop, and we are already up 2R. We are already up 2R on the trade. I'm gonna go ahead, speed it up so we can catch market coming in and watch what this thing does when the market opens. So now you don't see any numbers. That's because I'm switched back over to my margin account, to my main account. So market opens. I'm looking at it because I was looking to take entry in my main account. Switch back over to the IRA account, and boom. It tags the target for 5R. Tags the target for 5R. And now I'm just managing that last half because I did have 2 separate stops and targets. So now you see I'm tightening up the stop because it's failing horribly. Look at the volume on that candle up there on the 5-minute chart. Failing. So come over here, look at Lula. Wanted to get a trade on Lula until I looked at the spread. Look at that thing. You don't even see buyers and sellers right there tight together. So that was a no-go. I didn't want no parts of that right there. And I was looking at the 2-minute chart. I was hoping that this was going to give a 2-minute 3-bar play. But once I saw what the spread was, I was like, nope. So we come over to Baba. Looking at the same thing on Baba. Looking for a 2-minute 3-bar play. Wide range. Need this narrow range to stop right about there. It is not going to do it. It just keeps on going and keeps on going. Nope, no trade there. Look at it. So we'll go ahead, keep pushing through. Come back over and look at Lula. And no action there. Now I'm just kind of scrolling through the pre-market gap list because the thumbnail watch list wasn't really showing anything. So just trying to scroll through, see if I could see something else that I might have missed that's doing something. And I come across HOLI. And this is actually one that I did have on the watch list. And it was about the only one that was looking halfway decent. And then look at Baba. Baba was showing a little bit of strength. It had gapped down pretty good, but here's buyers. Every time the sellers tried to push this down, the buyers pushed it back up. So buyers was trying to get a hold of it. Come back over, look at HOLI. I was liking how this thing was looking, but I didn't like this junk to the left. If this didn't have that junk to the left, I was loving the way this was looking. Look at the 10-minute. On volume with this nice bottoming tail. And the buyers have it right up here to this key area. But I just couldn't get motivated with all that junk to the left. And we'll see that again in a minute. I'll keep scrolling through. We're not going to take, we'll be taking the first trade here in another minute. So looking to get into BABA to the short side because sellers have kind of stepped back in and they are pushing this thing back down. Got an order in. Didn't figure that it was trigger, so ended up putting it in there. Looking at the 10, that's indecision. Anytime I see a candle that looks like that, that's indecision. So take that order out of the system. And then I'm still watching it though. And we're going to get in this one in about 30 seconds. So now you see sellers have pushed in. And look, they just set a new low. So I would have been triggered in had I had that order in the system. And now you're going to see me go ahead and put it right where it should have been. Get triggered in. Now I'm kind of just scroll through, speed this one up. And we see, gives us a little worry. I'm back over here looking at HOLI. Look at that thing. This gave an entry here on the 1 minute chart with a tight stop. Even if you took it off of this candle with this wide stop, this thing has went 2R. This thing has gone 2R in 5 minutes. But again, I just couldn't take it. The one thing was, look at the volume. No pre-market volume. That I did not really pay attention to. So that's something that I need to possibly make myself a little note on, that if there's junk to the left, look at that volume. Very low volume in that compared to what these candles right here was doing. So I missed that one. This one I could have got a full trade in on. So missed that one. And look where it came to. Right up to this area that we had marked on the chart based on pre-market price action areas. So now we back over looking at BABA. BABA had made a nice move while we were away. BABA had made a nice move while we were away. And now that it's pushing back up, I'm like, all right, let me go ahead and bring my stop to break even. Don't want to sit through a pullback. Didn't want to sit through a pullback on this one. So we'll speed it up. Basically going 2 minute bar by bar. I put the stop just on the top side of that bar there. We'll kind of scroll through it. You see, I kind of tightened it up a little bit. In the sellers, they couldn't push it back down. Buyers got back in control. So now I'm looking at XOM. Look at XOM. It has come right up here to the 50 moving average. And I'm looking for this thing to hold the 50 and take off. It does have a little pre-market congestion right there. Didn't catch this. I did not catch this real time. Didn't catch that real time. Otherwise, I would have had a line right there, so I would have known not to really get into this unless it was setting up. I'll take those trades if it's setting up for a breakout or a 3-bar play, because they're going to push this thing right through that area. But let's go ahead. We'll scroll through it and see. It's not going to do what I wanted it to do. See, I got my order in. This thing giving it a huge stop. Huge stop. Basically off of this 5 minute candle right there. But this thing fails horribly. So I don't want no parts in it now. So I come over to OXY. OXY was one. Was looking to possibly short it, but needed some confirmation, so I wasn't gonna get in right there. NIO, this was one that Evan brought to my attention based off of the 10-minute chart. Based off of the 10-minute chart. So that's why you see me kind of tightening up the 10-minute, making sure there's nothing down there. Entry would have been off of that low. Probably would have set my entry at 1785. Just so it wouldn't have hit 787 and went back up. And then the stop would have been on the top side. And I come over to XPV, didn't see nothing. I come back here, didn't put an order in the system. I'm gonna go ahead and scroll this on up. And there we go. We see HOLY has finally pulled back. Was looking at possibly taking this pullback, but didn't really like that one. Now I'm scrolling back through the pre-market watch list, trying to see if anything else might be moving. And I don't really see anything. So let's see. All right, this is right where I want it to be. So this is the CVE. This was one that I found on the pre-market watch list. And again, it's looking to hold that 50 moving average, but it's still not really showing me anything. Actually, up here was showing. Look at the 10-minute, and I am checking it. Forget to change my share size, so getting share size white. 25-cent stop, 300 shares is correct. We see that the high of this candle is $18.99. I don't want to get in off $18.99 because it is so close to the whole dollar. So I want to see this thing come up, catch the whole dollar, and hold, and then go. So I'll scroll on through again. Evan had mentioned drug I will not fool with. I will not take a trade on drug, but I'll look at it all day long. But you will not catch me taking a trade on this thing again. So I come over, CVE, still not doing anything. So let's go ahead, scroll through. And we see NIO is still not doing anything. I'm gonna go ahead and speed this up. I'm gonna go to AZN. This was my first look at AZN. And look at this thing. This was a nice gap down. Decent little W right there. Set a higher low. We get the higher high, higher low. I had put this area right here on the chart. I was saying I don't want to get in until it breaks that area. But I still end up getting in. And I don't get in for another 8 minutes on this thing. But let's go ahead. Let's scroll it on through again. CVE still has not triggered. Look up there. 1901. Remember, I set my entry at 1902. So this thing came right up. And now it's pulling back again. And we come over and look at XPV. Remember I said I wanted to take a short on this, but I didn't see an entry. Just bleeding. Just bleeding. But this is the discipline that I need to hold on to. If I don't see the pattern that I want to see, don't just trade it. So I watched it go. But you want to see what I wasn't looking at? Hold on. Let's go back. Let's go back. Because I mentioned this to Evan after the fact. So let me go back. There it is right there. There it is on the 1 minute. Entry, stop. This is already up 1R. This is already up 1R. But I couldn't see that from the 2 minute. And that was one of the things I mentioned yesterday in the video, is that I need to move if I see something that might be forming, I need to move it to the big screen. I call this the big screen. I call this the big screen. Need to move it to the big screen so I can get the big picture looking at all charts. This was the play. Look at the 1 minute. Clean. Look at the 2 minute. Clean. Clean. Entry. Put the stop there. A little bit of worry right there. Another one. This is up 2R. This is up 2R. I had paid more attention to this chart real time. Never really looking down here at these. Never looking at those. So that was another one that I missed right there. But we come back over looking at CVE. And CVE is failing, so we take it out of the system. And look at it. It breaks the 50. It's all good because we will get back in that one eventually. We come back over looking at BABA. BABA. Don't really see any entries on BABA because I wouldn't want to get in until it breaks and retest that. So don't really see any clean areas where I would have took a trade there. FSLR, scrolling through the pre-market watch list. Looking at this one, that was the only entry that I saw on it that I missed. And it had already went by. And then you see right there how close the previous low of day is. No room to try to get any trade in on that anyway. Go ahead, scroll it on up. So now we're back looking at CVE. What's going to be our next trade anyway? AZN is going to be our next trade. Let's keep scrolling. All right, here we go. We about ready to take it. Getting in off of a 10-minute candle. You see me getting my numbers, and look what I do. Look at what I do. I put my order in on the short side of the ladder. But this time I caught it, and I'm like, nope. Cancel, flatten, get out the trade. So you hit that flatten button. That's almost like sell market, but you don't have to worry about putting in your share size or nothing. It's going to flatten you out of the position. And then I come back over and I get my order in on the right side of the ladder. So caught that one. Really no harm, no foul. Come back over to HL or HOLY. It's looking at this little M. And then I also come up and I look at the 10-minute chart. But look at the volume. There's no volume in that candle. Come over and I'm checking some other numbers. And luckily, I don't take this trade. Watch what it does, though. Watch what it does. So I've set everything up. I got my stop set. I got my share size set. Just looking at it, saying, okay, where's my entry going to be? You see, we put an order in the system. Again, no volume in that candle. This is just a couple of people pushing this down. Look at all of that, though. But this was still looking good, so I can't totally say that. Can't totally say that. Because these candles have quite a few sellers in them. This first candle, buyers. But these here, these have some sellers in them. A little bit of indecision in that candle. But let's see what happened. I'm going to click it one time. Click it again. It's going against us. Let's get that order out of the system. Take it out. Go ahead. Take it out. Come on. Keep scrolling. Let me speed it up. So I take it out. I come back over and I'm looking at AZN. And AZN is doing what we thought it was going to do. See, I got a line on the chart right there telling me it's going to be that first area of concern. Let's speed it on up. Look, it comes up to it, just taps over it. And now I'm kind of just 2-minute bar by barring, because that bar right there should not come back down and tap me. So that's a good stop right there. I tighten it up a little bit. And now I'm like, all we need is this to hold that line. That line is over here. I'm like, all we needed was it to hold that line right there. And it doesn't. It fails it. And that's why I got out of the trade. I'm like, and we see the buyers trying to hold it. They are trying to hold the line. And I come back over and I look at CVE and look. Remember we were wanting to get in right there, 1902? 1902 with a 25-cent stop. We almost up. It would have almost been up 1R. And I come back over. I'm looking at NIO. This was another one that that Evan had brought to my attention. That's why it's kind of good if you got somebody that you're chatting with while you're trading, because they may see something that you're not really looking at, or you might see something. But this was one, Evan was wanting to go low. And I saw this and I'm like, no, I want to see the retest of the previous low of day. He assumed I was meaning this way. I guess I should have been a little more clear. I saw this busting through here. I saw this busting straight through here. I wanted to see it come up, retest, and keep going. So that was how I was looking at it. But we come back over to AZN and look at that thing. Buyers surely are in control of this thing with that sandwich right there. And look at it. Instead of just filling this gap, it's trying to fill the gap all the way back up to previous high of day. Let's keep on. And there, remember I said I took this out of the system. It made a decent little move, but it was short-lived. Now we come back over, looking at CVE. This is a slow mover, but we go ahead, we put an order in the system. This order is going to get filled too. Decent pattern up here on the 5. Decent little pattern here on the 2. Decent pattern on the 1. So decent confirmation all the way around. We just let that order sit in the system. Triggers us in. Hold on, let's back that up. I want to see why I got out of that. Okay, I just tightened the stop up a little too quick. Yep, I tightened the stop up too quick on that one. Because watch this thing. Look at it. Look at it. So we come over to Walmart. Walmart is one that we take. Looking at Walmart to hold the previous high of day. Decent here on the 5. Looks decent on the 2. Looking even better on the 10. It's clearing this area. What time is this? Possibly would have wanted to let this 10-minute candle finish and then get in off the next candle. But we're going to get in this one in about a minute. There we go. And we do, look at how much room I gave this one. So instead of putting the stop right there, I bring the stop all the way back down to previous high of day. I'm going to go ahead, kind of scroll this one through. But triggers us in. Looks like it wants to go. And there go Baba. Nice W. It's coming up. This was one, I wanted to see this, break this area, come back, retest, and go. But didn't really follow up on it. come back over and we're looking at CVE, and watch what I do. I'm gonna change this to the 30-minute, and then I look at this chart and be like, dude, why did you get out of that? If this could break this area, if it breaks that area, it's gone. It is gone. And right now, we would have been up 1R based on the original entry of 1902. Now come over, look at what I said about NIO. NIO is doing exactly what I thought it would do. So now I'm like, let's see if it's going to retest and hold. Giving this a pretty wide stop based off the 10-minute candle and the 5-minute candle. And that was just me tightening up this upper stop. Because you see, I got a 12-cent stop and I had the upper set at 60 cents. So I was just tightening that up. 12 cents, 625 shares. So we share sized appropriately. Watch this thing. It triggers us in. I'm back over looking at Walmart. It's one of the nice things about having your bracket set. So once you get into a trade, you really don't have to worry about it. And you see, I'm looking at this and I'm like, nah, we didn't really wait to get the retest. So get out, basically flat, 53 cents, and watch what this thing does. Oh, hold on. I guess we're going to check out NIO first. And look at it. It's doing what I thought it would do. Just kind of, this one here, I was just kind of watching these candles over here. Didn't have them marked, but I was just kind of watching them and kind of watching the stock and seeing how it was acting. Ended up stopping out. Made 50 bucks off the trade, and then another good solid exit. Another good solid exit. Because it does nothing but go down. And then watch when it breaks up. And I just come back over. This was the one that I took in the cash account this morning. And I saw this. Wide bar, narrow bar. And I'm like, this thing's about to have a 3-bar play to the bottom side after it made that nice move. And look what it did. It just sold off. Just didn't hold it all. Testing 50 moving average. That's why it's good to have all these different areas on the chart. And each of them tell a different tale. Look at the VWAP up here on the 5. All of these 50s are set to the same time frame, so they're gonna all show you the same picture, but each of these give you a different picture. It's a 9 moving average on the 2-minute chart. This one here, I can get rid of that VWAP once this goes over to the 30-minute because it doesn't really apply on that chart. Let's go ahead, speed it up. Walmart, told you that was a good exit. That one failed. And this is going to fail horribly. Watch this thing. Look at that. So that was an excellent get out flat trade. Because on several of these trades today that looked like they were going to do something, we ended up getting out good on them. And now we're coming down to these last couple of trades. We'll put this one in real quick. Yep, 20-cent stop, 50 shares. That's a 10-cent stop, or that's a $10 risk. We'll just kind of watch it play out. Look up here at the 5. That's that M. So getting in, remember in TRADERVUE, I said I want to get in when it breaks this bottoming tail. That's letting me know that the sellers have kind of gotten control. So it triggers us in. Nice move to the downside. we would have been up one, or we were up 1R just based on that small share size. Look where it came to, right there. Expectation. So when this came to here, I should have been tightening up the stop for it to fail. And on a full size, possibly could have made about maybe 50 bucks on that trade. Just knowing expectation. And that is it. That is it. We got through that one right there. That was a full 40 minutes, and I actually went through that video pretty much all the way through, kind of just fast forwarding. And hope y'all enjoyed that. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that. Looking at what my P&L today was, I wasn't sure how to take today, but I think that was a pretty solid day overall. Starting pre-market on that first trade, took 2 trades in the Webull account. Webull account is growing nicely. Webull account is growing nicely. Those put plays, I am taking those basically off of channel trades. Let me see. If you are still sticking around, I do want to show one thing real quick. I don't know which chart would be the best one to show it on. Let's see. Let's see. Let me see if I got this set up right still. Two solid trades in Webull for a good week. We finished the week out very good. But on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. If you hadn't already, hit that like button. Please do so. Please do so. Even if you don't want to subscribe, I'm not going to ask you to subscribe if you don't want to. But I am going to ask you to hit that like button if you have stuck around this long, because that means that you had to like something that we were talking about over here. Trying to make this for those people out there that might be thinking about trading, or might be trading and they might still be struggling to get green. I call myself a new trader, even though I've been trading for a little while now, but still new in the grand scheme of things. I don't think you really can consider yourself out of that new stage, possibly 2-3 years. I think it's going to take that amount of time to fully get a grasp on this thing. But if you're sticking around this long, I think that you must possibly like this content. So please like it. Please like it. That's all I'm asking from you. No trading on Monday. I might try to get a couple of videos out. I might do something with Webull, showing my Webull account. So look to maybe see something this weekend. But on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up, and we will be back at it again Tuesday. The market is closed on Monday. Peace.